Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you this really soft silvery blue look. I wore it to the NYX Face Awards, so I really hope you guys enjoy it. So I'm going to start by priming my eyelids with MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot and then going right into eyeshadow. I'm first going to take Birkin from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is a really soft rosy brown shade. Next, I'm going to take Red Earth from Anastasia Beverly Hills on a denser crease brush, back and forth in the crease a little bit below where I place the transition color. For the lid color, I'm going to take Kaleidoscope from Makeup Geek, and I'm going to spray my brush with MAC Fix Plus to intensify it. It'll just make the eyeshadow glide on a little bit easier, a little bit more intense. This is an icy blue shade. Then I'm going to mix Metal and Pink Champagne from Anastasia and apply that right on the center of the lid for more dimension, more variation of color, and it kind of went with my dress that I wore, so I was just going for it. I thought it was pretty. Next, I'm taking Deep Brown from Anastasia right on the lash line. It's a gray brown for a hint of definition. Then I'm going to curl my lashes, add mascara, and false lashes. I was kind of everywhere with this look. I didn't plan it out ahead of time, so I actually wanted to go in with another silver eyeshadow. This is from the Urban Decay Moon Dust palette and apply it right on top because I wanted the look a little bit more foiled and a little bit more intense. Now we're going to work on the face a little bit. I'm going to take the NYX Angel Veil as my primer, and then for foundation I'm going to mix the Armani Luminous Silk with the Cover FX Custom Enhancer, the illuminating drops. I'll link everything in the description bar, and I'm just going to apply this as my base. I mix them together on the sponge, and it just gives a lot of dewiness to the foundation without being oily looking. I love these drops. They literally transform any foundation, and I'm just applying it with my beauty blender, which is my favorite way to apply my foundation. For concealer, I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape concealer in the shade Light Medium. This has been my favorite concealer the last couple of weeks. It's what I took to Italy. It's what I've been wearing every single day. It's very creamy, but it also has a lot of coverage, as you can see, and it just melts into the skin. I usually use the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, but this has kind of taken that place because it's a little bit more pigmented and just a little bit more creamy on the skin. I just love it. To bake my concealer, I'm going to use the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder with my damp beauty blender. Baking is my favorite way to set my concealer. If you're not familiar with baking, it just sets your concealer for a longer period of time, and I find that it makes my concealer look so much nicer than just casually setting it with a powder. While that bakes, I let it sit for a couple of minutes. I'm going to fill in my eyebrows with the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I use the shade Dark Brown. And after I fill in my brows, I'm going to go ahead and dust off any excess powder from baking. To be honest, the only type of baking you will see me do is on my face. Next, I'm going to take a metallic eyeliner to fill in my waterline. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm using a brush to hold the lash line down so that the heat from my fingers doesn't mess up my concealer. It's just a little trick that I do, and I find that it works really well. And then I'm going to go back to that silver eyeshadow from the Moon Dust palette on the lower lash line. I'm going to go back to Red Earth and buff it out on the lower lash line, also dragging it outwards, extending it to the crease color. I'm just using a fluffy crease brush. This is my favorite way to apply shadow on the lower lash line. It buffs it out really, really nicely. And I'm focusing this color on the outer part of the eye. I'm not going all the way to the inner corner. To contour, I'm going to take the Tarte Tartist Contour Palette. I'm first taking the darker shade to map out my contour. I'm also going to contour my nose with the darker shade. I just use my NARS Ita brush. I do it really quickly, nothing too fancy. And then I switch to this Morphe Tulip brush, which is my favorite, and I go in with the lighter contour shade to buff this out and add a little bit more dimension. As you guys have seen in a lot of my recent videos, this has been my current favorite way to contour my face. Then I'm going to take MAC Melba Blush and add this right on the apples of the cheeks and blend it backwards. Since I had a lot of shimmer on the eyes, I wanted to go with a matte blush. And then next I'm going to bake right underneath of my contour to just define the lines a little bit, and then I'll buff out the excess baking powder. For my cheekbone highlight, I'm going to start with Laura Geller Gilded Honey, which is my all-time favorite cheekbone highlight. It is fabulous. And then after I have applied that on my cheekbones, I'm going to go in with Pat McGrath Skin Fetish. This is the pink shade, and I'm going to go right over top. It added this beautiful iridescent pinky purple tinge to it, and it went so good with the eyes and the dress, and I just loved how different it was. I usually don't wear pink highlights, but I adore this shade. And then I'm also going to add that highlight on the inner corners of my eyes. It just looks so magical. I just love this shade. Then I'll finish off the eyes with mascara on the lower lash line. I use the Rimmel Lash Accelerator. It's my favorite mascara for lower lashes. And then I'm going to seal in my skin with MAC Fix Plus just to take away any excess powdery look. For my lip color, I'm going to start with Colourpop Oh Snap Lip Pencil. This is my current favorite lip pencil from Colourpop. I've been wearing it so much. It's really creamy, and it reminds me of Candy K from Kylie Cosmetics, and that's another one of my favorites, so I've been wearing this nonstop. And then for my lip color, my favorite lip color of all time, you guys know, Dose of Color Stone. It hasn't made an appearance in a minute, and I wear it all the time, so I just went perfectly with this look. This is a liquid to matte lipstick, so it goes on liquid and then it dries matte, and it's so comfortable. Like, I forget I'm even wearing it, but then I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, this color is beautiful. So here is the completed look. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to leave me any requests down below. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video.